All right, so here we are today on Starbucks Odyssey launch day, and this is going to be, I think, a big point of interesting perspective. And we'll get into all of this, what Starbucks has done with Odyssey, their NFT platform, their connection to Polygon. We'll dive in deep. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Path. There's a lot happening in, I think, where brand integration is starting to merge into the world of Web3. And we've showcased a lot of different integrations that are, in some cases, questioned. Yeah, they're okay. Some are really high-end. If you look at Artifact and .swoosh, I would say that is probably as good as we've seen so far. So I was very excited to see Starbucks and the Odyssey campaign and their program get rolling. So I want to just, for some of you, maybe you've not even heard of this and didn't even know it existed, but if you're brand new and you just were out there searching for Starbucks, you maybe found this video. Starbucks Odyssey begins, this of course right here on their website. And it goes into a lot about what the Odyssey is. I want to read from their website right here. So the beta experience powered by Web3 technology launched to a small group of waitlist members, including customers and Starbucks partners, employees. The selected participants will be able to engage in Starbucks Odyssey journeys, so basically building some NFTs, these stamps, and have access to new benefits and experiences. Okay, so I look at this and I think about, and the last point on there, let me bring that back, Starbucks will also collaborate with members and partners to co-create the future of the experience. Now, listen, I've been around the food industry, the restaurant industry for quite a while. We have another sister network in food called Foodable. And we study this stuff all the time. Obviously, the link up to what we're doing here with PBN. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt is that, you know, in these early stages on any kind of tech deployment, you're going to need some time to build out the perfect product. And I think what Starbucks has done is unfortunately laid a green egg. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I think it's just a situation that either one, they didn't have the right team in place. Two, I'm surprised that Polygon was connected to this and wasn't assisting in this particular strategy deployment that they have in place. Or they have a secret plan that nobody knows about, and this is a planned release in the state in which it's done. I want to go to the Odyssey page, which is the beta, and I'll zoom in on a little bit of this right here. So this is kind of the introduction of the new Starbucks, dimension of the new Starbucks brand, access to new benefits and experiences. You can join the wait list there. And if you run down, you can kind of see a few things here. I wanted to highlight this one right here, which is what are NFTs and what are NFTs are digital collectible stamps, NFTs. They don't necessarily give a full definition of how a real NFT use case is, a true non-fungible token, and what that simply means in terms of the ability to translate from being able to move it around, trade it, add value to it, unlock, create utility, all those kind of things that are built into the architecture of what NFTs truly are now in today's 2022, 2023 era. There's a lot more at play here. So I would say that this, first of all, and we'll show you some screenshots here of what they rolled out with. I want to zoom in on Polygon's website, and this is Polygon dropping this, and I'm going to zoom up a little bit here so you guys can really see what happened. So essentially the stamps themselves are these three right here. You've got these avatar stamps, the veranda, the Yukon bear, the Sumatra tiger. I'm not going to knock what they did artistically here because, you know, Starbucks has a certain you know, design theme that they've been able to succeed with for years. You can't knock that. I would have maybe gone a different direction in the terms of maybe integration of Ready Player Me, really building out a true Web3 avatar inventory. And I think that was their first mistake, or one of the first mistakes and I did not anticipate this. When I heard this first news coming out with Starbucks Odyssey and what Polygon was doing to be involved, I thought this was a slam dunk waiting to happen. And I would not put it at that. I would have to say they made a lot of early start errors, not anticipated by a brand this size. And I think the question is whether or not, and I hope that they don't do this, is that they scrap this program and get away from Web3 integrations. My thinking is that hopefully they'll learn from this and really kind of move forward. But if you look at their layout, You know, they have this Starbucks trivia component, not a great integration. This could have been done on any kind of form integration in Web 2. The store scramble, which is kind of like a little CAPTCHA type thing. Again, a puzzle that is just not even significant to address. These kinds of integrations like this right here are, in my opinion, rudimentary at best. So the idea of converting a brand to Web3, to me, right now, is so important for brands to be able to launch with the right kind of strategy, the kind of NFT planning that they need to put in place. And number three is they really have to go into understanding the design metrics and the design ability of what NFTs have already kind of laid in terms of the groundwork. You think about the creators in NFT, they're over the top on this. So this surprised me in the sense that whether it's the team that helped them with this or their internal team, I'm not knocking or throwing anybody under the bus. I think we all learn from this and we can all kind of better a project like this. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this like a 2 in terms of the rollout. And I'll explain all that. I'm going to give you guys some examples of this. Let me jump over to just some quick slides that I prepared for a little bit of this. And by the way, if you guys have not seen us yet, we flipped our branding now. So we have the PBN3 network, which is basically Paul Barron Network. Make sure if you go to pbn3.com, you'll find this, but this is kind of our new home, even though you can still go to paulbarronnetwork.com and find our membership site, all that, how that works. Let me go to the first thing of what they did wrong. So first was no marketing. This surprised me in the sense that they didn't have a lead up to it. There wasn't really integrations on some sort of media tour outside of PR and traditional coverage of companies like us, which are hypersensitive to these kind of projects anyway, so we would cover this. But no marketing, too vague on what games and experiences they were going to roll out. So I think everybody, I understand it's beta, and everybody, but even on beta, people do, in many cases, have a lot of pent-up design. They failed to launch with the Stamp Marketplace, which is the NFT marketplace. That was the biggest surprise to me, is that they not created a marketplace for this because of the IP opportunity that exists with Starbucks. It's off the charts. I can't imagine that this wouldn't roll out with a unbelievable potential of integration into a marketplace. And that's even when you're looking at scenarios where a lot of these kinds of brands want to be brand safe. Completely get that. But even not to that point, the opportunity from a design standpoint and integration standpoint into OpenSea and others should have at least been considered. Website NFT definition, no plans to allow moving NFTs outside. That's a definite fail. Avatar creation is Web 2 at best. I would say this is beginning of Web 2 design-wise. Trivia to earn, quizzes, simple puzzles, just not addicting. This is not going to be one. This should have had a GameFi team and a gamification team from Web 3. Even if you were to just hire a handful of developers in the gaming ecosystems that could have helped with this component would have been helpful. Nothing about loyalty platform needs blockchain or NFTs. That's the break that will make this project fail if they don't plug in Web 3 to truly understand the integration into loyalty and why identity is so important in blockchain and where Web 3 will be going. That's what they did wrong. Now, let's go to the good stuff, what they did right. So they're an early adopter. I would say absolutely kudos to Starbucks for taking a stride out into very troubled waters right now in the NFT space, meaning NFT taking a couple black eyes, the marketplace is down, not as many rollouts, definitely not as many investors moving into the space. So early adopter, mega brand, kudos, a 10 out of 10. No wallet creation, easy onboarding. That also, ironically, is a very good thing for major brands. And what I mean by that is you have to be able to have an on-ramp that everyone can get to. Starbucks knows that, good for them. That was also, I'd give that one an 8, but you have to also be sensitive to the crypto natives who are willing to do wallet connections. So you should have had both. Pay with credit card, kudos. I think that's a win, but again, you gotta have pay with crypto as well. Polygon, I think this is your best. That's a 10 out of 10. This definitely fits the theming, the ESG, the brand recognition, the elements. Polygon is the chain to be on. So kudos on that selection. Where would I take this in terms of strategy? And this is something that, we do often now. We're starting to work in this space. As you guys know, our business entity does a lot of these kind of things, but from a media standpoint, we really analyze deeply around all of this. So if you look at the strategy and tips that maybe they could take from this, and this is just, just some ideas, is to really build out a loyalty and NFT platform that really needs to be baked in to the entire brand as a whole. Now remember, Starbucks is the largest digital brand in, I would claim, maybe the top 5 of all retail in terms of the way that they interface to the Starbucks app, the amount of users, the functionality in which they have the digital currency in the cards, and the ability to do a lot of things within the app for loyalty and points rewards. That, to me, bar none, they've built that over the last decade, and it is definitely, I would call it, an A1 level product. They should be using blockchain to educate. This is something that I think is a missed opportunity. The coffee bean traceability is a huge deal in that market. They should have went this direction. And use a blockchain tech to do it. I mean, this would have been perfect. It's a natural, it's a slam dunk. More focused on interoperability. This is going to go into things like Ready Player Me integration, more types of potential real Web3 development architectures that are already well versed in this sector, and many of these projects would have been gushing to assist Starbucks on something like this. So another surprise, but I think that would have been an easy fix. They should feel like a leap forward in tech. And this is where, again, you have to make a conscious decision to really take something that's been working, their digital format of what they do on loyalty rewards, the whole aspect of their mobile app. And you have to be and make those conscious decisions to say, even though it's not broke, we have to accelerate it. And that, I think, is where they have to go to really take this into the next level. And really, if you think about it, AR, VR is coming so closely right now. They should have had, some meta integrations in there. That would have been an easy, potential, but that's another opportunity for them. And then I think the big one here is rewarding creators. So think about this. Starbucks already has such an affluent customer base. They have artists, entertainers. Imagine just the celebrities alone that would be able to plug into this from a creator standpoint. I think this would have been an absolute barn-burning opportunity around creation, especially around art and entertainment. And to me, that fits with the Starbucks brand. So again, these are the strategies and tips that I would have taken out on a project like this. And there's many more. I mean, there's so much more on the list that I would take into consideration of where this could go. This roadmap would be very rich over the next 2 to 3 years from its beta inception and taking it to the next level. I'd love to know what you guys think. If you've tried Odyssey, drop some comments below. If you have done projects like this, or maybe you've minted on some NFTs and you've done and seen the kind of integrations that we've seen in Web3, drop your ideas down below. Where would you think that Starbucks should have gone around all of this stuff? We're going to continue to take a look at these kind of business integrations, because I think this is very important for the future of where not only Web3 is going, but I think the ID side of Web3 for creators and also customers. Loyalty is going to be huge, and obviously frequency and all those kind of things that play into brands is going to be huge as we start to see Web3. I was very hopeful for this, not so hopeful right now with the way Starbucks has rolled out on this, but I hope that they take this, they learn from it, and they move forward with a really aggressive program, because they are the brand, one of the few that could really make this a next level customer experience that could shift the landscape for everything in Web3. Starbucks, I would say, is one of the point brands out there to do it. All right, if you guys are tuned in over on the podcast side of things, we do these short episodes like this, just sometimes do a breakdown on some of these news items that break out. What I'd ask you to do is get over here to the YouTube channel and join our Diamond Circle. It's the #1 place to catch all of our insights, a lot of our updates, all that good stuff, and it's free. Just click the link below. And if you're on the podcast, you can click the link in your podcast notes right there as well. And of course, if you guys want to catch me, it's out there on Twitter @PaulBarron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.